think if you want to become an excellent therapist, it's worthwhile to apply for this fellowship.
Because in my experience, it's been a really awesome place to work and be and grow, and I feel like I've grown leaps and bounds just in the short time that I've been here. So I really want to encourage you to do that. I have appreciated just the patience. Like I feel like I came in kind of like frazzled and a little bit overwhelmed already because I was just coming out of grad school. But I feel like I've gotten a lot of like patience and support from my supervisor and the owners and everybody else. I mean, especially during a pandemic and all these changes that are going on. I just feel like I feel the love, I feel the support. So it's been really great. I really appreciate that.
I think what I've most appreciated about the fellowship is the cohort aspect. I really loved that when I came on to RTC, I had 3 other people who were sharing the same experience, who were going through the trainings together, so we could really lean on each other and offer each other support, and I didn't feel like I was alone in that.
So what I've most appreciated about the fellowship has been all of the support that we as the fellows have gotten from the other staff here, from supervisors, from Jeb and Teresa. I find that it's not only the like career support, how we're growing as therapists, but it's also the very personal support and how we're growing as people and how that's informing our work. I don't think that I would have succeeded and made as much progress in my own work as I have without that kind of support.
Oh, I've learned a ton. So, well, just the basic stuff about like couples therapy, right? How to work with couples. I've gotten a lot of encouragement about that. And there's a ton of resources and information that's obviously provided here. And so that's a basic thing. But I think, further than that, I've just kind of learned a lot about myself already, and about the way that I show up and my areas of growth as well as my strengths. I'm learning that. So, and there's just a ton more, but those are the big things.
Oh my gosh, there's way too much for me to even say that would fully answer this question, because I think I've really honed in on how to work most effectively with couples. I've also learned so much about particular models that are really helpful for work with couples and individuals, as well as my own work, frankly. So I've also learned just how to be a healthier person, how to take better care of myself so that I can really show up for my clients in doing my work. I've learned a lot about my own past, my own history, and how that influences me. I've learned more about relationships in terms of how I approach them, and I can give that same advice, that same guidance to my clients. And I'm learning more and more every day. I continue to learn new things. So there's really no easy one answer. Everything about this fellowship has been about learning. And that's one of the things I think that has made it most exciting and most fun, as well as the most rewarding.
I've learned and grown as a therapist and as a person here is I've learned the PIT model. That has been tremendously impactful as a therapist. It's also impacted a lot of how I see myself, how I see my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my children, and my relationship with my parents as well. We've done a lot of work with Atkinson's teachings, and that has been tremendously impactful. Again, the skills and the communication around that. I've grown as a person. It's coming here has opened up a lot of my vulnerability and be able to be more open with myself and be honest with myself as well as the people around me. I cannot speak highly enough to the amount that I've grown and learned from here.
The biggest challenge, I would say, for me personally, is going to the size of a caseload that we have to have. right, and maintain. So my experience, I came straight from graduate school, so while I had been seeing clients, I was also a student, right? So I didn't have a full caseload. I had a smaller caseload and then was doing, the school thing as well. So the expectations of, the hours we need to get and everything, it is just an adjustment if you haven't been seeing clients at that rate already. So just keeping up with that and balancing, self-care and your life outside of work. It is a lot and it is a transition, but it's also really worth it, I think.
So, biggest challenge or some of the hardest parts, I would say it's a very different commitment energy-wise. I know that for the first probably 4 or 5 months starting the fellowship, I was so exhausted and drained, just because I was trying to learn so much, right? Taking in so much information, really like academically, but also about this new workplace, right? And how to do my job here and how to learn the system and how to build relationships with my new colleagues and coworkers. And then how all of this is affecting my relationships outside of work. So I think just the difference in the energy required for it was really hard for me. But again, I got a lot of support around that, and I know that as my self-care got better, I was able to give more of myself at work and feel less drained by the whole process and experience.
One of the hardest parts has been, hey, this is a lot of hours. We work really hard. The fellows have worked very hard, and I know the RTC appreciates it, but there's also a sense of like, this is a big commitment and I am going all in on it. So making that shift of like, hey, this is so important to me that I really want to give heart and soul to every client and to all the time that I have to spend doing this, it's been worth it, but it's been something that's been a challenge.
The clinic is moving to be more racially diverse. We are doing a lot of work around being anti-racist, and we're just like having those conversations and really welcoming those experiences of like our own feelings, doing our own individual work and doing our work as a clinic to be best for the clients that we see that are racially diverse, as well as bringing in more team members, more staff members to work with us. So I just want to put that out there, that's really important to us.
The advice I would give, I guess, is to really work on yourself. So I think if you have been in therapy in the past, maybe it's a time to check back in or kind of revisit some of the things you've already worked on. I think, being a therapist stirs up stuff like no other career. So I would say just make sure that you have support, both friends and family, and I think seeking your own therapy is really, really helpful.
I think advice that I would give is just be totally honest with yourself. The Jeb and Teresa here have been fantastic with just anything that we need, being honest with that and not holding back. They look for that, they search for it, and I think that would be a really good advice.
Learn to love better and be better loved.